Hello, everybody, and welcome to the zoo. I'm the Rusty Panda, and I'm here for you. Today we have Fartzar up in the corner there. Oh, wow, I'm actually pointing in the right direction. I didn't think that would happen. So today we're doing Wiki Wednesdays. If you don't know what that is, this is trademarked by Tipsy Roo. Today's sponsorship is by Tipsy Roo because he originally started the Wiki Wednesdays, which is where we go down the rabbit hole of Wikipedia in order to initiate more conversation in the interview and, of course, learn some things along the way. So today with Fartzar, we are going to go into a few topics of discussion regarding positive things and some negative things. I want to say your pronouns are he. Is that correct? He, him? They, he. Okay. I want to make sure that at least if I say he, that it's correct. Okay, awesome. So the first thing that I have pulled up is the word fart. So I'm curious, how did you get your username? Pause 1 second. Pause 1 second. I realize that for some reason it's not pulling up your vocals. This is a test. Hold on 1 second, and then we're gonna go into it. This and audio input, I think. Audio input or browser or display capture. I'm gonna go with audio input, capture 5, and we're just gonna say it's not Elgato. Cancel. Sorry, Kyle, 1 second. I was realizing that nothing was moving on the right side. Awkward. How would I? Oh, how would I? Oh, how would I? Galvos, help me out, bud. Do you know? It would be the window capture 2 should also have properties. Window. Oh shit, I lost you. Hold on. Cancel. Do you have an input from what's muted? No, nothing's even muted. And now the Discord isn't picking up. Discord, hold on. Oh, this is fun. Okay. Window capture. Window capture 2 should be Discord, and it's not even picking up Discord. We will yeah, we'll persevere. Okay, I got this. I smell fart. Yes. We are working on our. So I'm here. Yes, I understand that. I see that. Capture method automatic. No. When does it match title otherwise? Whatever. Why the fuck won't this work? I'm working on my transitions and stuff, sarcasm, and for some reason it's not doing what I want it to do. So we're going to go ahead and remove. I don't want to remove it. Okay. Might as well just start all the fuck over. Burn it all, then regret burning it all. Yeah, exactly. Okay, browser 2 is not even working right now, which should be working. Let's refresh it. Everything is crashing and burning. There we go. There's the text. Now, window capture 2 should be Discord. There we go. All right, now, for some reason, we've got you back up, and then we need to find sound on the desktop. So we would have display capture. Oh God, that's not what I wanted. Cancel. Oh God, this is not what I wanted. Remove. Yes. What's game? Oh, that's that. Okay, good. So everything's showing up there. So then why? I guess do another browser. Display capture image, media source. Video capture device, window capture. Did I just do window capture? I did display capture. No, also not what I wanted. Help me, Galvos. It's picking up me, but it's not picking up. Okay, hold on. We're going to do this real quick. All right. So they should be able. It's audio output. That's what it is. Go ahead and talk.
Talk.
Yeah, it's audio output. All right. Let's go back to here. Audio output. Speakers, headphones, speakers. Let's just do default. Go ahead and talk.
Talking.
Yay, we did it. Holy shit. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the zoo. I'm the Rusty Panda, and I'm here for you. And this is Fartzar, and we went ahead and discovered what we needed to do, and everything is fine. And yes, so, tell me why you got your name.
So, an old coworker of mine at Starbucks actually just came up with it randomly one night when we were in the back doing dishes. And she was like, you know what? I think you should change your handle to Fartzar. Just out of nowhere. And I was like, you know what? That is fucking hilarious. And it just stuck. I don't know why it stuck. It just did. Because who doesn't love a fart joke, right?
Right. Right. So what's the czar? What is that?
I don't know. It just came from like the deepest reaches of her mind and it just stuck.
That's hilarious. So, okay, so we're checking out this. Let me go ahead and make this a little better. Okay. So, we've got this going on. So, they talk about flatulence, which for you farts are what do you feel about being called like a fart? Like an old fart or like a fart? You're only like a few months older than me, so if you're an old fart, then I'm an old fart.
I mean, as far as the internet's concerned, we're dead, so.
Oh, that's right. The death of the millennials.
But, I mean, like, farts are hilarious, so, like, who doesn't love a fart joke?
That's right. That's right. So, okay, so, this. All right. So, okay. So, oldest word. Oh, wow. Fart is one of the oldest words in the English lexicon. Okay. Things I did not know. Vulgarity and offensiveness. So, do you feel like your name is offensive in any way, shape, or form?
I think so. I mean, like, you know, it's a fart. Like, it's offensive in the butt, so.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like, ooh.
Oh, gosh, she said fart. So, when concerned that a person is being overly methodical, they may say, I don't know, I'm being an old fart. Yeah, see, that scares me. I don't want to be an old fart. So, let's see. Oh, yes. He's not okay, so George Carlin, the late, great George Carlin, original 7 dirty words. He noted later in the routine that the word fart ought to be added to the list because it's not acceptable for broadcast. So, I don't know why it wouldn't be acceptable for broadcast. I mean, I've heard fart used in television, I think.
I don't think I have actually. Like maybe on South Park, but
Right, right. Oh, wow.
that's funny. I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that either. And then occasionally, ramming slang developed the alternative of a raspberry tart, later shortened to raspberry, and occasionally referred to raz, and this was associated with blowing a raspberry. The Gatsby. Oh, I actually remember the Gatsby Pass. Do you remember this? Can you look at the title and see that? I remember this totally.
No.
Oh my god, it was a children's book. That's right, that's right. And the first American edition was in 1994. It tells children of flatulence, and that is completely natural to do so. I totally forgot about this book. So,
Everybody
say again?
everybody farts.
Yeah, absolutely. Explains why farts smell bad and what animals seem to fart. It goes into different animals and stuff. And everyone poops. That's another one, too. That's another. Um, Everyone poops. That's so funny. And I remember it's weird because I don't exactly remember the context, like the what was in it, although obviously it's about poops and farts. But I remember the faces of the book. The cover is the word I am looking for. Is there any covers of books that are like immediately stand out to you?
I don't know why, but Oh, the Places You'll Go was like the first book that popped into mind,
Yes. Oh, absolutely. That's iconic.
right?
That's iconic.
It's
Um,
kind of scary though. Like
it
it's daunting,
is
which I
daunting.
think is the point.
Yeah, absolutely. How did he get up there, and why is everything rainbow? I don't even understand. The one that pops into my mind is the hungry caterpillar. Yes, this guy,
Oh, yes, Eric Carle.
right? And then just this exact picture to me, I immediately get taken back to like grammar school.
Yeah, like I'm in my elementary school library right now.
Absolutely. Um, Now, okay, so one of the things you mentioned is anime. So, and he didn't like mention this just now. You didn't miss it. We talked about some of the stuff we were going to talk about ahead of time. Cheating. But what you talked about anime. So, we'll start with just anime specific and or general, and then we'll go into specific as far as what animes changed you, why they changed you, etc. So, anime is Japanese, hand drawn or computer generated animation, origin from Japan. Anime refers specifically to animation produced in Japan. Interesting. So even so, you'd have to say American anime in order for it to be American, or how does that work?
I don't know, honestly. I always just I knew that like anime is specifically from Japan,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like over the years I've heard like another term for anime style artwork that's produced like not in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
but it's escaping me right now.
Yeah. Okay. So when I typed in anime before, it says an anime influenced animation, and then a bunch of other stuff. So let's see. Earliest commercials, blah, blah, blah. Type of animation, as many genres and different mediums. In Japan, the term anime is referred to all animated works regardless of style or origin. So, English language dictionaries typically define anime as a style of Japanese animation. So, it just keeps going back to Japan regardless. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't know they classified all animation like from Japan as anime. But
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because I guess that would just be the word animation.
That makes sense. So this apparently, this here, I'm going to scroll if I can. This is not scrolling, so that's going to be awful. Can we scroll, please? That would be great. No? Not really? Okay. So, come on, go back. We'll go ahead and look at this tiny picture here. Frame from Namakura Gatana, the oldest surviving Japanese animated short film made for cinemas. I love old. Look at this. Look at this anime right here.
Wow, 1917.
right? And this one's 1963 with Astro Boy, which why does that sound familiar?
There was a WB Kids adaptation of it at one point.
That's right. Wasn't there a giant Astro Boy in a movie and it like fell over or something? Now I have to look this up because there was a movie that had a giant Astro Boy and I'm trying to remember. This is the plot, this is the production, English language version, media, anime. 2003 they had Astro Boy. Oh wow. That looks intense.
Yep.
Um, films, IMAX, CGI version. So as Astro Boy as Nicolas Cage as Dr. Tenma. Why is Nicolas?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That's fantastic. Okay. All right. So what is an anime that means something to you?
Oh boy.
Like
You know,
what
probably
got you into anime?
the first anime I ever watched was Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon. I know somebody who would absolutely love you for that. Um, Ninja Scroll for you, hired gun. I don't know Ninja Scroll. Do you know Ninja Scroll farts are?
I do. It's a classic.
Oh yeah.
Super violent.
Oh, is it violent? We'll look that up in a minute. But let's talk about Sailor Moon. So this is a very weird picture of Sailor Moon. Um, Outlaw Star for me. It was new when I saw it. That's funny. Yeah, I know that Outlaw Star is one of the few animes I've seen, and I really liked it. So, what Sailor Moon characters are for you?
I mean, I honestly Luna was my favorite character.
Okay.
Literally just the cat. It was something about her voice actress that I was just like, I'm in love. And it was a
Antagonist.
talking cat.
There we go. Supporting characters Luna, Artemis, and Diana. So, cat characters who act as advisors as their respective owners. Each has the power of speech and bears a crescent moon symbol on their forehead. Interesting. The cats serve as mentors and confidants as a source of information and new tools for special items. Interesting. So, it's a black cat for Princess
Yep.
Serenity. So, did you like Princess Serenity out of all of the characters too, or just the cat?
No, just the cat.
That's the cat.
I mean,
that
I was like 5 or 6, so I was just like,
that makes
it was
sense.
probably like me secretly being like, oh man, this is a pretty anime. Ooh, a cat.
Right, right. That makes sense. Wow, look at all this 1990s adaptation. Technically Bumpity Boo. I had friends that got married as Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon. I don't know who's Tuxedo Mask.
Oh, Tuxedo Mask.
Um, okay. So, her man. Okay, okay. One of the protagonists. He disguised himself in order to support the series' central heroines, wearing a mask to conceal his identity. Wow, okay, it's not very masky. Um, he's a power item, a Sailor Crystal, which gives him guardianship over the planet. He has psychic powers and healing. Damn.
And he always had a rose.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
They were divorced about 11 months later when he was caught cheating. We all saw it coming. Really? They had a divorce episode? I have no idea.
No.
Okay.
No, I think Hired Gun's talking about the Friends marriage.
Oh, I was like, wow, they talked about divorce in the cartoon or in the anime. That's fucking amazing. Good for them.
Yeah. But like the disguises in the show, like not disguises at all.
Oh
Like
my god.
Usagi, like everybody still looks exactly like they are. It's just a wonder that they're not like, oh, Usagi, what are you doing? Literally fighting evil.
That's funny. That's like the glasses for Clark Kent, right? Where it's just like you
Literally.
look like Clark Kent, which is with glasses. I don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Um, Outlaw Star. Let's check this out. So you like Outlaw Star too, or did you ever see it? Or
I haven't seen it. I have heard a lot about it.
yeah, it's probably one of my favorite. I'm not gonna go into the plot and stuff, but probably one of my favorite animes. What's the other one I like, Galvos? I don't remember the other one. Akira was a great one too. Do you know Akira?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so let's look up Akira. Oh, Cowboy Bebop. That's right. Thank you,
Oh,
hon.
okay. I was gonna say Cowboy Bebop is very similar to Outlaw Star.
Yeah. Okay, Akira given name. Japanese pornographic actress. Oh, that's good. So I guess it should be Akira anime. There we go. How do you guys feel about the Cowboy Bebop live action? I have no idea. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
So 1988 animated cyberpunk action film. Interesting. Neo Tokyo. Oh, the 80s. Is a pivotal film in cyberpunk genre, specifically Japanese cyberpunk genre. So what do you know about Akira? What is
I mean, it's one of like it's one of those mainstream anime films that like it might have been like more popular when it came out in Japan, but like in America, I feel like it was one of those like late discovered things, like it was really niche, but like around 2005, like when we were probably around like 8th grade-ish,
okay?
um that was like when I feel like that was when anime was like super cool in New Jersey for some reason.
Yeah.
And that was like everybody's cyberpunk awakening because then like we started watching like Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um but it was just like this weird dystopian like cyberpunk world. It was crazy.
That's wild. Okay. And wow, this is a lot of home media and on VHS. That's
Yeah, and it
funny.
was also one of the first instances I remember as a kid seeing body horror.
Interesting. So it won the Silver Scream Award in Amsterdam. An American Anime Award, Best Anime Feature, lost to Final Fantasy VII.
Oh god, not Advent Children.
Oh yeah, was it bad?
No, Advent Children was all right, but there's another that just reminded me of a the other Final Fantasy movie, The Spirits Within, that made no sense.
Oh yeah, so 2001. So that already bodes well. Oh my God, these characters real? Are they
I
anime?
no, it's CGI,
Okay, okay.
but I didn't even watch it. I just I remember everybody just shitting all over it.
Oh, that one is rough, Galvos. Okay, all right. Um, all right. So, what other animes do you feel jive with you?
A big one for me was Chobits or Chobits. People say it differently.
Got it. Oh, I like the style. I think she's naked though. Is she naked in that? I
It's like
can't. I'm afraid to zoom in. Oh no, it's fine.
it's a dress.
I'm not like trying to caress over her. I was trying to see. Awkward. Anyway, okay, so 26 episode long anime, um, September 2002. It spawned two video games,
Oh, I didn't know that. I never played them.
as well as various merchandise, figurines, collectible cards, calendars, and art books.
I definitely had a lot of that.
Yeah, so give me the plot. Give me like the paragraph plot.
So basically, it's like this country boy moves to the big city for university, And everybody has these personal computers that are human shaped. They're called persicoms, personal computer, because
Mm-hmm.
Japan likes portmanteaus for some reason. And he can't afford one because he's poor, and he finds one in the garbage. And he's like, "Oh, cool, free computer. How do I start it up?" And he figures out how to get it started up. It's all really weird and awkward. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's
Okay.
hilarious and a plot point.
Ooh.
Um, and then all sorts of crazy shit ensues with the Persicom because she wakes up and the only thing she can do is say her name.
I love it. That actually sounds really good. That
It's
sounds really
super
good.
cute.
Yeah.
The studio that made it, Clamp,
Uh-huh.
is kind of notorious for things being like super kind of taboo. Like there's like themes of like lesbian stuff and like weird Lolita stuff and inappropriate relationships between adults and children. Like, but in Japan, the age of consent is different. So,
Right, right. Yeah, they have all sorts of that porn out there of like, what do they call him? Sensei, right?
oh,
Teacher,
senpai.
senpai. Right, right, right. Don't ask how I know that. I have friends who are very vocal. All right, so Clamp is an all female Japanese manga artist group. Interesting. So that makes
Yeah,
sense why they're progressive.
they all live together.
It makes real sense why they're progressive. Okay. All right. Okay, so this specifically has its own um what am I trying to say? Like collectibles and all that stuff. I'm curious about the video game that anime soundtracks video games. In 2002, Marvelous Entertainment released a Japan only game, Nintendo Game Boy Advance, called Chobits Atasha Dake no Hito. And the game is available bundled with the clear blue Game Boy Advance with a decal of Chi and the AB buttons and Chobits logo above the D pad.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. I really want that now, though.
Yeah, in 2003, PlayStation 2 game titled Chobits Chi Dake no Hito. Like Game Boy Advance, this 2 is released only in Japan. And then a PC version was released in 2002. Oh my god, QuickTime. I remember that. Macromedia and QuickTime.
Yup.
The game is called Communication Game, in which the player can talk with Chi and teach her to speak. It also contains some small games such as keyboard typing game. Wow. Oh, hi, Raglan. How's it going? Okay, so, give me one more. What's one that, like, changed you? Or gave you, like, the feels?
Oh, the feels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh. Um, it's an anime movie called Grave of the Fireflies.
Okay. 2005 film or 1988?
1988.
Okay. So, okay. 1988 Japanese war tragedy film. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Set in the city of Kobe, Japan, it tells the story of two siblings and war orphans and their desperate struggle to survive during the final months of the Second World War. Grave of Fireflies is ranked one of the greatest war films of all time and recognized a major work of Japanese animation. Damn. How many? Like, it was a movie, so.
Like thing.
Wow. So $500,000 in the box office, but $1.7 billion in Japan. Okay. And then there's only a few characters, it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the siblings.
That's cute. The music. To be fair, it's been out a really long time. Yeah, oh yeah, with $1 billion. Yeah, but I mean it's saying it's one of the greatest war films. Like that says a lot. Um yeah, mostly successful in the Japanese box office. It had limited theatrical release in the United States. And then home video released Grave of the Firefly sold 400,000 copies in Japan, equivalent to at least 1.974 billion in sales revenue. And ranked 12 on Total Film's 50 greatest anime films. That's awesome. Ranked number 10 in Time Out's 50 greatest World War II. Number 6 in top 10 most depressing movies.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. So why did this like matter to you? What did that?
I mean, it was just kind of like a meme at the time. Like everybody was like, "Oh, don't watch Grave of the Fireflies. You're gonna want to die afterwards because it's super sad." I'm like, no, come on, because I was like 15, and I'm like, you
Right.
can't hurt my feelings. Boy, was I wrong.
Right. Oh no. Okay. Princess Mononoke? Is
Oh
that
yeah,
okay,
that's
that one I think I've seen. Yeah, that one I've
the
seen. Um that's right. Okay. Yeah, that one freaks me the fuck out.
because it because she has blood on her face all the time and the big wolf.
I guess so, but there's also like there was a scene where there was a giant like baby or something. I'm trying to remember how it went after. Okay, give me a second. La 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 la. Didn't he have the the demon flesh?
Yep.
Okay, I remember the demon flesh, and um that really freaked me out. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. And it tries to take over the forest, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. There was another one which I can't remember, but they go into like fight this giant area, and it shows like this baby being not born, but like in the womb. And I don't fucking know. I know that my brother showed it to me, and I was like, this is the weirdest fucking anime I've ever seen.
Are you talking about Evangelion?
I don't know. Let's find out. Evangelion. Not a no. Evangelion, you are not alone. Evangelion, you could not advance. I don't know. Mecha? Also referred as Evas, are a biochemical humanoid introduced to the anime television.
Oh yeah, if you type in Neon Genesis Evangelion, that's the actual title.
There we go. Um,
That's the only one I can think of that would have like that. I think I remember seeing like a picture of a baby.
Oh, Netflix 2018 announced that it acquired the streaming rights to the anime services as well as Evangelion. So I have to check that out because if it's still on there, I want to figure it out. Um, Good luck with that. There's like 47 million episodes. Interesting. Okay, so let's move off of anime for a bit. Let me check my notes. Let's go into tattoos. I don't even know why you like them. It doesn't even make any sense why you would even consider having tattoos that are all over your body currently. So, what about tattoos inspire you or anything like that?
I mean, initially it was just like I always associated them with like badasses and like tough guys. And it was like so counterculture. Like I grew up with like my dad and my mom hanging around tattoo shops. My dad rode motorcycles and he had tattoos, so like it was just like a really cool thing to me.
What was your first tattoo?
It was this one.
Okay. Jersey. Okay.
Yep, it's New Jersey with the sign language symbol for I love you.
Oh, nice.
And my dad actually did it in his kitchen.
Oh, your dad did it. That's wicked.
Yeah.
My uncle used to be a tattoo artist, and he did one on the back of my brother, on my brother's back, but he also was really drunk and wrote, instead of lucky, he kind of combined the letters and wrote Ludi. And so on my other uncle, it had Ludi with two dice. And yeah, that's a memory. So, okay, so your first one is the Jersey symbol. Your dad did it. So are there any other tattoos by your dad, or did you go to a tattoo shop after that?
So he actually did. I have two like traditional sparrows on the back of, like, one on the back of each calf
Mm-hmm.
that he did. Those were my second and third tattoos.
Okay. And then did he stop from there, or did you go?
I just kind of stopped getting tattooed because I was living with my grandparents at the time, and my grandfather hated my tattoos.
Oh no.
Like, I was hiding them from him, and one morning I was at the sink and I was wearing shorts, and he looked and saw them, and he just stopped talking to me for like 2 whole weeks.
Oh my gosh. Isn't it funny how some generations are just like, no? Like, I was thinking about this yesterday, especially we'll go into piercings too, because I see that you have some. My brother had a piercing right here, and he'd always play with it, like this. And my grandma, who's a fireball, um, she goes, I hate that thing. Like, every single time she saw him, he'd be like, you have such a beautiful face. I hate that thing. She paid him $1,000 to take it out and never put it back in again.
I mean, I'd be sold.
Right? Exactly. And of course, he blew that money on, sex, drugs, and alcohol, whatever the hell he wanted. But, like, it was how long till he put it back? He'd never put it back. He'd never put it back. He just got tattoos and called it a day. He did get gauges. He worked on the gauges and stuff, and he got down to, what is it, double zeros? Is that big?
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, he got to double zeros to the point that he was putting like things in them, like forks and stuff, like he could fit it through and pull it out the other side just to be gross. Do you have gauges?
I do.
How big are they?
Mine are 9/16 of an inch.
7/16 of an inch. Okay.
9/16.
9/16. My apologies. Um, isn't gauge GAUGE?
Yes.
Especially earrings. Okay, the size of objects stretching body peelings, including earrings. And that's all you're gonna give me? All right. So let's check out stretching and body piercing, because that's where it's taking us. Jewelry for stretch piercings. Okay, so wood, bone, horn, amber, bamboo, silicone, and glass are not uncommon for stretch piercing. So what are your gauges?
So the ones I have in right now are silicone.
Silicone, okay. Um, okay, so Farsar, check out Soul Land and the King's Avatar, the movie for space battleship Yamoto. That's like a really long fucking name.
I will do that.
So Panda, you won't be getting any tattoos. I have one tattoo. I have uno tattoo. And it was for my friends. We all got one, and it was a infinity symbol with a paper airplane, so like dotted. And it's just a paper airplane that goes in the infinity symbol. And that's it. And it was really scary. And I had to put on a lot of the numbing cream because I have neuropathy. So I had to put on like all the numbing cream to make sure that I didn't like die in the process. But I didn't feel it and everything was fine. And I got a tattoo. So did you ever want to become a tattoo artist, Kyle?
I did at one point. I actually was offered an apprenticeship if I completed a like this 6-month homework thing, but the pandemic happened and my
Right.
mental health kind of did what a lot of people's mental health did.
Right.
So I kind of fell off of it, and then I sort of realized like that it was kind of a sign that I really didn't want to do it, that I just kind of enjoy tattoos as an art form, not necessarily doing them.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna fix your name because I thought it was the Fartzar, but it's just Fartzar. So sorry about that.
Oh, I totally didn't even notice.
Yeah, no, that way people can follow you. They're not looking up the Fartzar because I know that that's more Discord based. So
Yeah, and that's also my Twitter, I think.
okay, okay. They used to call you the corpse at the tattoo shop.
Ah, so you sit well.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what that fucking means, so I'm happy you know. Um, so yeah, apprenticeships. So I mean, you got the apprentice. Oh, so you got midway through your apprenticeship, or you started it, and then the pandemic happened. Yeah.
So I got told by my boss slash would be mentor, like, do this drawing on the right side of the brain exercise. You have 6 months, and then if it's good, then we'll give you the apprenticeship, and if not, then you'll start it over and we'll reevaluate. So I didn't even get into an actual apprenticeship. I
Got
didn't
it.
finish it.
Got it. So is that something you like to do in the future? I know that you have plans for the future, and you could talk about those. But is that something that you also have plans for the future?
I don't think so. I think at this point, I kind of realized that I enjoy tattoos and I enjoy tattoo culture, but I don't have what it takes to like be a tattooer.
That makes sense. Um, the tools are looking scary. I mean, these tools look fucking. Look at that. That needle looks crazy.
Yeah, that's an old coil machine, and the grip on that is actually a metal grip and tube that, for the most part, we don't use in the industry anymore.
Okay. So do you do a lot of drawing and art? Says hired gun.
I used to. I would like to paint and draw more. I actually prefer to do acrylic painting.
Okay. So what acrylic paint. Okay. I had to think about what the fuck that was. Um red acrylic paint squeezed from a tube. Okay. So what I mean, do you just do like colors like this or do you do like paintings like of things?
So I mostly the last piece that I did was like a recreation of a skull that just like had metal fillings in its mouth that I thought was cool.
Mhm.
I haven't really done any like originals per se.
Okay. I mean, is this something you still want to work on as your part-time, pastime hobby?
Probably. It's just it takes a lot of space up, and I just have my room right now, so.
Right, right. Um okay, so talk to me about what you're working on, what you want to become.
So I actually just signed up on Monday night for NASM certified personal training certificate and certified nutrition coach
Okay.
certificate.
Nice, nice. So this is the National Academy of Sports Medicine, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Founded in 1987. So you want to be a personal trainer and a fitness instructor, right? Or does it personal trainer? What does it go by?
So they have it's I want to be a personal trainer,
Okay.
and they have like tons of different certifications you can get on there.
Is there a gym that you go to specifically that you feel like you'd be more towards, or would it be like I want to work at Planet Fitness, or is it like I want to work at Jersey Strong, or what's the
So I'm not really too concerned about whatever gym I end up working at. I kind of want to be my own like free agent and
cool?
just focus on like the clients themselves.
Okay.
Um, just because I think that fitness is such like it's such a touchy subject because there's a lot of ableism around it. There's also a lot of homophobia in the fitness industry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think part of my personal philosophy around it is kind of finding a solution that works for everybody and makes fitness something that's like accessible.
Okay. Now you do meal prep and stuff, right?
Yes.
So what does your meal prep look like?
It's actually a meal prep setup that my old personal trainer did for me,
Mm-hmm.
which boils down to basically a protein, so either chicken or ground turkey,
Mm-hmm.
a complex carb, so brown rice or sweet potato,
Okay.
and leafy green. So I use spinach and kale mix from BJ's because it's easy.
Okay. So you have that every single day.
Yep. And it sounds terrible for most people, but I am such a creature of habit that it actually helps me remember to eat.
Okay. Now, is that just lunch? Is that dinner? What are you prepping?
So I eat in the morning, I have oatmeal and egg whites. Then I do three other meals in the middle of the day, which is all the same thing basically.
Okay.
So it's like lunch, second lunch, and then dinner, I guess, technically.
Okay.
And then if it's a day that I go to the gym, I technically have another meal, which is my protein shake and like post workout carbs, which is like a rice cake or a banana or something. But on days where I'm off, I just have like another like meal prepped meal.
Okay. So you're pretty hardcore about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just for simplicity's sake because if I don't have to think, then I can't go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. What's Hobbit diet? What does that mean?
Oh, probably when I said like second breakfast.
Oh, okay. I was like,
11 G's.
I don't hate me, but I've never seen Lord of the Rings, so I don't know what a Hobbit diet is.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, I know, I know. I haven't seen Star Wars either, but we digress. Okay, so
I'm not a Star Wars fan either. I haven't seen much
I've
of it.
seen the Star Trek movie. That was something I've seen, and so I understand the characters a bit. Panda, you're so sheltered. I'm not sheltered. I have friends who know Star Wars front and back. I have fans who know Star Trek front and back and Lord of the Rings front and back. I know the movies. Like I've heard the plots, I've heard the finale, I've heard the startup. Like I know most of the Star Wars lore, some of the Lord of the Rings lore. That is too fucking long. I'm sorry, but that is too fucking long. And then Star Trek, I have a little bit more variety on. You can poof at me all you want. This is about Kyle, so we're gonna continue. Um, okay, so we've got coffee, which is my personal favorite. Do you take hot coffee or cold coffee?
Oh no. So iced coffee is the gay agenda.
Oh God, then
Um,
I need to question some things. I'm an iced coffee addict. So tell me more. So why iced coffee?
so originally it just boiled down to like the first coffee anything I had when I was a kid. My mom used to give us coffee,
Mhm.
and it was basically just a cup of milk with like enough coffee in it to turn it a different color and then sugar.
Right.
So I was always drinking it cold when I was a kid anyway.
Okay.
But as an adult, it's just if I drink hot things, I get sweaty and I hate being sweaty.
Right. Which comes from the trainer over here who works at the gym or wants to work at the personal trainer. Don't you sweat a lot?
I mean, if I'm exercising, yeah, like I don't mind being sweaty when I'm exercising, but like I'm the type of person that like it's hot in my room from my computer being on and my window is open right now.
Right, right. Now, do you have the weather that we just had? Because it was 17 degrees yesterday.
No, currently it is 30 degrees.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I always laugh at when the weather passes here and I'm just like, Jersey's gonna get it. But then I remember Missouri is absolutely fucking insane. So I will never watch those movies. Hired Gun. It'll never happen. I don't even watch regular movies. I've not seen one Marvel movie. Like it's not gonna happen. I don't care for movies. I'm just weird like that. Okay, so iced coffee. So do you like it more black? Do you like why do you like your coffee?
So, uh, everyday coffee, my order is when I go to Starbucks, it's a Trenta cold brew, or if I'm not at Starbucks, large cold brew with a couple of stevia in it. That's it.
Okay, I didn't even realize they had stevia. So do you just say alt sugar or what do you just say literally stevia?
I just say stevia.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also crazy, so I always have it in my backpack.
That's fair. That's fair. So for me, my order is a Trenta iced coffee with skim milk, white mocha sauce, and no classic syrup. And then sometimes I'll get an extra espresso in there. And then I just found a coffee shop around the corner that I was getting iced coffee from. They have 24 ounces, which is great. And they have pumpkin spice like all year round.
Oh, pumpkin spice is like the one flavor that I'm like, if I can have it all year round, I absolutely will. And there's a secret other one that not a lot of places have, which is lavender syrup.
They have lavender at this coffee shop too. My friend just got a lavender iced coffee when I met up with her the other day. And I was like, what the hell is lavender iced coffee?
It sounds weird, but like it works so well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd try it. I'd try all coffee. But yeah, I get pumpkin spice and toffee nut. And together it makes an amazing, delicious
Yes.
thing. My level of coffee is on par with Panda's movie knowledge. I mean, that's fair. Not everyone is as great as coffee as we are, so you got to be, only nerds don't know about coffee, okay? Iced coffee, hired gun. Only nerds don't know about it. So, um I live just south of Seattle. Well, see, never mind. I was going to say that's your problem right there.
Just south of Seattle. So you're basically on the border of Portland and in between Portland and Seattle, and you don't like coffee.
Yeah,
That is a sin.
that's why people keep calling me a nerd. Yeah. It's crazy coffee world. Okay, so real quick, this is totally off topic. Jefferson. What was it going to be?
Airplane?
Jeffersonian? No, no, no. Jeffersonian state. Oh my god. Okay, gun. What's the state that almost happened between California and Oregon? I might have to Google this. State that almost happened. State between Oregon and California. Jefferson. Okay, so this is a little known fact, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. Jefferson State. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Oh my god.
Proposed southern state. So, oh no, this is dividing Texas. Hold on. Proposed Pacific state. So, here's a little fact. Yeah. So, here's a little known fact. So, in rural southern Oregon and northern California, they attempted to separate from Oregon and California. And the land does not include San Francisco or the Bay Area. The name Jefferson, of uncertain origin, has been historically used to propose other territories or states. So, Thomas Jefferson went to the Lewis and Clark expedition in Pacific Northwest, envisioned the establishment of an independent nation of Western Port, or the Republic of the Pacific. Okay. So if it was ever proposed, this new state's capital city would be a constitutional convention and name the provisional capital. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So in October 1941, they went ahead and proposed this, and he was motivated and blah, blah, blah. So a group of young men gained national media attention in 1941, and the state split movement ended quickly, not before the Del Norte County District Attorney, because he was inaugurated as the governor of state of Jefferson on December 4th of 1941. Now, basically, what ended up happening and why it didn't work out is because that is 1941 that's when World War II happened. And so, no, Pearl Harbor. Yeah, World War II. So they literally proposed this like the day before Pearl Harbor, and it was going to pass, and then Pearl Harbor happened and everybody forgot about it. Isn't that crazy?
That's so wild.
I
I had
totally did
no
not.
idea.
Yeah, I totally just had that random fact of knowledge, and it really just it blew my fucking mind when I learned that. So I wanted to share that with you. But I digress. I digress. I apologize. Um, I just assumed that that in two they had control up there, the NCR and Fallout. Did you know about happening in Florida also? Yeah, they said something about Florida breaking off because of the Spanish, I believe. I don't know history, like fucking at all. I rely on Galvos for all of this shit, but that was a really cool thing that I learned. Okay, so tell me something interesting that you know. Tell me something that you don't think most people know that you think is super interesting.
Oh God. Um. Oh wow. That's
Tough question.
yeah. Oh my God.
It could be about um, something fitness related, something in, you had mentioned gay culture, something in anything.
So, fun fact: the first tattoo machine was actually created from the same mechanism as an old doorbell.
Really?
Yep.
Use okay modified. Oh, it was still presented under stencil pens in Newark, New Jersey.
Yep.
Interesting. The first machine-based technology was single coil machine patented just 20 days filed for this machine. He placed a modified doorbell assembly in a brass box. The modern two-coil configuration was patented, whoever. And then because it was so heavy, a spring was often attached to the top of the machine at the ceiling to make most of the weight off of the operator's hand. That's crazy.
Yep. Most things in tattooing were actually created like just adapted from other things.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll zoom in. So this is the 1978 rotary tattoo machine. This is the patent for the stencil pens. This is crazy. So tattooing became regular in what year? Like when did it break out?
I mean, it was kind of always underground for the most part. Like tattooing actually used to happen a lot at sideshows.
Okay.
Um, it was because it was something for like degenerates and freaks,
And
and
sailors
criminals.
apparently, right?
Yep, sailors too. My great grandfather actually had a tattoo done by Ed Hardy. Um, it was a mermaid on his arm, and he used to make it dance for us.
Wow. Okay, so he was just like that guy from Pete and Pete.
Yes.
Okay, that had the tattoo that could dance or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, Dunhead Hardy, known for his tattoos, strong influence on the development of modern tattoo styles and apparel and accessories brand. I thought I've heard of him, and Ed Hardy. I'm trying to remember.
You
Is
might be thinking about the douchey Guido clothes that
That's what
had
I'm
tattoo
thinking
designs
about.
on them. Yep.
Yes, that's exactly it. I was like, why do I know what that is? And unfortunately, that's why I know what it is.
Yeah, so the designer who stole those designs, Christian Audiger, never actually paid Ed Hardy or his family for the use of those designs.
Oh, wow. Was there like a big suing about it or?
There was, I don't remember what actually happened, but I remember it was a big
Wow.
thing.
Okay. So, Ed Hardy clothes. Who is the guy that?
Christian Audiger. Let me. mm,
Audiger, French fashion designer.
I think so. Yep.
What a douche. Audiger on a motorcycle in 2010. Oh boy. Look at that. How fancy. Crystal, Dylan, Rocco, and Vito are his children. Vito would be his children.
Of course.
Okay, so began working at a fashion agency. His designs became so popular that the top executive of McKean Jeans took his talent, affording him the opportunity to create with a company and travel the world. He worked with Guess, Levi's, Diesel, Boozy. I don't know this one. Michael Bobet does okay. XOXO Smith and others. Wow. That's right, too. Attracted the attention of Madonna, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher! That's right. I remember Ed Hardy's designs from Ashton Kutcher, and I don't know why specifically him.
I don't either.
But I guess he helped popularize the brand and left earn amicable in 2007. Okay. And then he went on to popularize the Ed Hardy brand, and his brands are sold internationally. Interesting. In 2011, he sold Ed Hardy to Iconics Brand Management Group. Oh, and he died with blood cancer in 2015. Huh.
Oh.
Look at this face, though.
He looks like he was a douche.
Right? He does. Like, that's what I saw him, and I was like, what a douche. Okay, so let's go back to espresso. So you don't put espresso in your coffee or anything, do you?
I do sometimes, but that's when I need like an extra kick.
Right, right. So, just like one shot, or do you do like...
It depends on the day, because I actually drink like so much iced coffee that if I put shots in every coffee that I got, I would probably have a heart attack.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, do you have... I mean, I have a cold brew maker, which is currently overthrown by my husband's desire to make hot coffee with it. But regardless, do you have something that makes cold coffee or something along those lines?
I do. The problem has been I'm too lazy to go get beans
That's fair.
because I could like get regular coffee and just put it in there, but I'm such a snob that if I'm gonna put the effort in to make cold brew, I want it to be with like top tier beans.
That's fair. That's fair. So, okay, so then do you exclusively do Starbucks or you do the local coffee shop or...
I so if I'm buying like pre-made coffee, I'm generally going to Starbucks or Quick Check because it's around the corner from my house.
Right.
But if I'm like buying coffee beans, I try to buy from local roasters.
Okay.
There is a coffee shop in Booton where I used to live called Booton Coffee Company that roasts their own coffee. Um, a woman I used to work with when I worked at the tattoo shop, she owned a coffee company not too far from here called Kraken Coffee.
Okay.
And I believe it's a Greenwood Lake Coffee Company.
Okay. So how do you spell Booton? Because I messed that up.
Boonton. Boonton.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. I was like Butin. I was like, nothing's coming up for that. Okay. So, located
And
in
that's the
Morris
library.
County. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is up here. So that would consider North Jersey. Um, and then I'm located around, or I was located around like here. So that's where my little heart goes.
Central Jersey.
Yep, the elusive
Which
Central
exists.
Jersey, which exists exactly. Um, okay, so what did you like about Boonton besides the coffee shop? Is there anything that was worth mentioning?
Well, I lived like a block off of Main Street, so I used to that blue building there is the library. I used to walk there all the time.
Okay.
Uh, it's like super historically accurate inside for the most part, and just
Yeah.
like it has that old vibe, like that vibe of old library, and smells like books.
Yeah, it looks not like a library. It kind of looks like an antique shop that has several stories. So, was it uh let's see if they have it. Oh, they just have the Montclair Booten line.
Ugh,
What's that? Is that a part of the mom line? New Jersey Transit, which is a bullshit thing. There is
Yeah,
the Mom line, which is Monmouth Ocean Middlesex or Monmouth Ocean more like one of those.
I think it's Middlesex.
Okay. Yeah, and then yeah, Monmouth Ocean Middlesex. And that it's not always operative like the one that's in they're probably going to say Morganville. Um the one that's right in like Freehold area doesn't operate anymore. And so you just have these like lines that don't exist. Historic English Town has a line that doesn't exist anymore. So we always, as kids, would go down there and walk on the tracks like crazy people. Um, but going back, Boonton, so you've got the library. And then, let's see, don't care about any of that. So it's only 2.5 square miles.
Yep.
So it's not very big. But the population is 8.8. So about 8,000, 9,000. So 9,000 people in 3 square miles. Welcome to New Jersey.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I'm curious if I do. All right, where I went to school. I'm curious what the size of that is. So there's 20,000 people, but there's 9 square miles. So okay. So what is the demographic?
Booton's weird because I I mean, I hung out with a lot of people that were around my age when I lived there.
Okay,
It was weirdly enough like a high school reunion at the local watering hole.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was wild. Like I ran into people that I went to high school with or like had known, like I'd been around them and kind of just like we hung in the same circles but didn't hang out together.
Uh huh.
But then like we'd see each other at the bar and be like, "Hey," and like reconnected with people. It was weird, but it was a fun time. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
yeah.
my time in Bhutan was super weird.
Oh yeah. What?
Yeah,
How long were you there for?
I was there for 2 years.
Okay.
But I had moved in with an ex of mine. Things happened with him. He was gone. We got a roommate. My ex's brother still lived with us for a while,
Oh boy.
which was super weird. Then the brother moved out. We got a roller derby teammate that moved in.
I remember that. I remember the roller derby days.
Oh yeah, I missed those days.
Let's see here. So it's a roller skating contact sport where two teams of 15 members. It's played approximately 1,200 amateur, 1,250 amateur leagues worldwide, mostly in the United States. Formed in 1935. Okay. Now, what position did you play?
So I was mostly a blocker,
Okay.
um, which that's pretty straightforward. I
Okay.
did try to jam a couple of times.
And now that you have to be really fast for that, yeah?
Yeah, but in the style of derby I was playing when I like stopped, it was different than the initial kind that I played. But in both, it was like the highest level of fitness you had to be at.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Yeah, these now is it typically female?
So it's like at this point, it's mostly a women's sport. There is the MRDA, which is men's roller derby, but guys just got people in roller derby in general have huge personalities. And so if you put that much testosterone in a room, it just doesn't work out because men
Yeah.
can't talk about anything without fighting each other.
That's so true. That's so true. Wow, and there are different referees too.
Yep.
That's insane. different timers, scorekeepers. Is it really complicated or?
It's yeah, it kind of is. Like if you're watching it and you don't play it, it's kind of hard to follow. Um, it's yeah, it's super weird because I started playing a different kind of roller derby that was more like fast paced, and then like the kind that they're referring to on here is more the old school style,
Okay.
which is like slower and more strategic.
Okay.
And I used to shit all over the old school style until I played it because it's kind of like baseball. Like it's not really fun to watch unless you've played it
Right.
and you know what's going on.
That's a good comparison because I'm not a big fan of watching sports as it is, and baseball is definitely one of those where I went to my first baseball game and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Like,
Yeah,
I'm having fun only because I'm drunk and I have a hot dog, but other than that, like, this is slow as fuck. Okay,
yeah.
okay, so um, let's get into the dislikes here. So the first one that you put is homework. So where are you getting homework? Let's start there. Are you doing school right now? Are you interested in doing more school?
So, aside from the personal training thing, I do want to go back to school to work in addiction recovery.
Okay.
So, college is back on the table eventually once the loan cancellation goes through.
Right, right. And now what genre would that be? What am I trying to say? What title would that be? What is your focus?
So, I think my plan right now is to go for an undergraduate, like a bachelor's degree in psych, and
Okay.
then a master's in social work.
Okay, okay, okay. So, let's do this. And now, let's find addiction. Hold up. I know how to spell addiction. Okay, so addictions rehabilitation. That's a great one. So, do you plan to work at my mom was a head nurse in drug recovery for almost 20 years. That's awesome. So, where do you plan on, like, let me try to focus on what I'm trying to say here. Do you want to work in as a private person? Do you want to work in a company? Do you want to work for a imprisonment, incarceration? Like, where would you like to focus?
I honestly, I don't think I've thought that far ahead yet. Um, but I mean, I kind of guess I envision myself working in like a rehab center setting, like maybe as a group facilitator, or possibly like as an individual therapist.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that's a really great goal. So you're talking about hating homework. Um, Specifically, I mean, was it something that you've always hated in grade school, or what specifically grinds your gears about homework?
It started in elementary school. I just always thought it was stupid that like I had to sit in school all day and then I had to go home and do more school. Like I didn't like that. Like I put in my time, man. And
Right,
I was one of those kids that always tested well. So I would ace all the tests and it would be like, okay, well, I know the information. Why do I have to repeat it every night? Like this is dumb.
right. Yeah, I tested very poorly, but I always did my homework. Literally, I would be on the bus because it took an hour to get to school on my bus, and I'd either be sleeping or doing my homework on the window. Like with the paper because I needed something hard to write on, and I'd be doing it
Yep.
on the window. And always handed it in. Always. I'd do it in homeroom. I'd do it whenever I could, even if it wasn't at home. But I'd hand in my freaking homework, and then I would test like C's, B's, like couldn't get it. So that's awesome that you test well. Did you do well in the SATs?
I don't think so. I think like because when we were going into college, it was like when they were like, oh, only the two count, like math and verbal, I think it was, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I only had like a 1050 combined on both of those, which I don't think was like awful, but it wasn't great.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember my score, but I remember the cap used to be something and then they changed it, right?
Yeah.
And so I got exactly what the old perfect was. But it
Okay.
didn't matter
Yeah.
because it was in the new range, so it was entirely average.
Yeah, I think it used to be like two sections, and then when we were doing it, like it was 800 per the three sections.
Right. Yeah, a lot of Midwestern states did the ACT, and so when I moved, and they were checking on my SAT scores, they were like, "We don't really know how to do this." Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the blue states have more seniors in the class who took the SAT than the ACT, and those in red had more seniors taking the ACT, and so this is where it all went down, and
I
this
didn't
is
know that.
2022. Same thing, where the seniors who took the SAT, then the ACT, ACT is in red, so over here more now, and then the SAT is still on the east and west coast. So, and the ACT, I believe, is more like uh, SAT is more liberal arts based, where ACT is more like hard facts, I think. I don't quote me on that, but I believe there's a lot more writing on the SAT than there was in the ACT. Two main sections: evidence based reading and the math section. Um, Four sections of reading, writing, language, and then math, no calculator, and then math with the calculator involved. So I'm curious then, ACT test. Oops, test. Where function format. So English, mathematics, reading, and science reasoning. Yep. So English,
Interesting.
mathematics, and reading tests also have subscores ranging to 1 to 18. Taking the optional writing test, receiving a writing score. So it's a lot different. I took the ACT, got a 36, and called it after that. And your range is from 1 to 36, you fucking genius. God,
Wow.
for real.
Married the brains.
You have no idea. They call him Nova Science because he knows everything. Like it's a lot to be in a room with him and him just be like spouting words and you're just sitting there. It's your friends and he's spouting words and you're just sitting there like I'm learning something, but I'd also like to talk to my friends about things, but they're more interested in you because you have the facts. Google asks him for answers. Yes, that's exactly it.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly it. Um, okay, so how do you mind me asking if you completed college or what was your college experience?
I did not. So I went to William Patterson, where we had our humble beginnings.
Yes.
Um, and then I transferred to community college and ended up not going there because my mom and I were not really talking at the time, so my FAFSA wasn't able to get done. So I was like, I'm gonna take a break and go back, and then just never
Never
went
went
back.
back. Yeah. Do you wish you would have or
I honestly wish I would have taken like a gap year after I left William Patterson because I thought I wanted to do photo.
that's right.
Um, but it just turns out that I didn't know what I wanted to do.
That's fair. And you seem to have a lot of likes and interests, which I think is actually a good thing. Um, because you're able to go in different directions when the wind changes. You know what I mean? Like everybody, some people are just like, "Oh, I want to do this and then this is the only thing I want to do and I have no other hobbies because this is what I want." And then that thing falls through and they're like midlife crisis. Like what is my purpose? And for you, you've got so many different things that are so interesting about you. And I just think that you have so much opportunity in so many different directions. Don't count it out.
Thank you. I mean, like, it's kind of a blessing and a curse because sometimes I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I can adapt. This is great. But sometimes I find myself being a jack of all trades and a master of none. So
Got
now
it.
I'm trying to like pare it down so I can be like a step above. Like I still don't think I'll ever be a master of anything, and I don't think I want to be.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, uh, let's talk about this. So, once upon a time, two friends,
Oh yes.
two friends decided to go to a live show together, and one dressed up like a whore, and the other one was me. No, one dressed up like a whore, and the other one dressed up super fancy and sexy, and that was you. And we went to a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it was awesome. It was different than I had went to. I think that was the last Rocky show that I'd ever been to. And um that's how we and for those of you who don't know Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I don't know if that means you're living under a rock, but this is Rocky Horror Picture Show right here. Right here. That pretty much sums it up. I don't think I have to
Yeah.
say anything further than Tim
Yeah.
Curry being a transvestite from Transylvania. Um, but yeah, the live shows are super fun. If you ever get the opportunity to go to a live show, horror show live. Oh, this is a musical performance event. Cinemas across the United Kingdom and Europe. Oh,
Huh.
interesting. Written by Richard O'Brien. That makes sense. Um, but he's the only one who still did it. If you go to a live show, do not raise your hand. So, fun fact. And again, I'm sorry we're talking about me, but this reminds me of something. When I was 19, and this was my 19th birthday. Were you there for that? My 19th birthday when we went to a Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yes.
Okay, so I took probably 15 people to this Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was my 19th birthday. We had went to a sushi place up in New York City, and then we came back to where I lived, and you slept at my house that night, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. And so we went to Rocky Horror Picture Show. And it was about 15 of us, and I think about 7 of us were virgins. And so I sent them all up there, and they're like, wow, we have a real influx of people who are here today. And I'm like, yeah, I brought them all. Like, it was happy fucking birthday to me. And yeah, I've got some fun pictures of that. My brother, like, hanging out in the back wings, like, I just had smoked and was like, I'm not playing this game. Like, I'll sit and watch, but we're not going to do this. So, all right, we've got 30 whole minutes, so let's talk about our last topic. Which is one last thing that you hate among many other things. And what is that?
The American healthcare system.
Yes, okay. So it's we're talking about health insurance, not just insurance. Health insurance. There we go. So type of insurance that covers whole or part of a risk of a person incurring medical expenses. With other types of insurances, risk is shared amongst many individuals. By estimating the overall risk of health risks and the health system expenses over the risk pool, an insurer can develop a routine finance structure, such as a monthly premium or payroll tax, to provide the money to pay for the healthcare benefits specialized with the insurance agreement. So, basically, what was your first experience with insurance and healthcare system?
So aside from not having it for a lot of my adult life, I guess, because I actually found out that my dad tricked me into emancipating myself when I was like 21.
Okay.
So he didn't have to pay for my health insurance.
Oh my
I
god.
just I just like didn't have it until probably wow. Until I was like 20 no, until I worked at the tattoo shop actually. So basically from when I was a kid to like 21 to 25, I didn't have health insurance.
What did you do?
Uh, hoped to God I didn't end up in the ER.
You never got sick or had to go to an what do they call
There
them?
was one time that I got sick and I went to an urgent care. I went to a minute clinic in CVS because they were like just kind of popping up.
Right.
And it was only because I woke up one morning and I had such bad stomach pain that like I was nearly in tears, and my job required me to get a doctor's note.
Wow. So did you have to I mean, obviously you paid out of pocket. Was it insanely expensive or
I think it was only like $75,
okay.
which was still kind of a hit at the time because I was living paycheck to paycheck,
Right.
because I was an irresponsible man child. um, Still working on that, but I remember getting the doctor's note. All they did was tell me to get omeprazole, that I just had gastritis, and I got the doctor's note, went into work the next day, and I was fired.
What?
Yep,
Even though you had the doctor's note.
yep. I mean, admittedly, I was a pretty terrible employee. I
Okay.
was like partying and like late for work all the time. Like I was dumb.
Got it. Got it. But okay, so gastritis. So let's wiki that. Da-da-da-da. So, maybe a short episode or a long durations. There may be no symptoms, but then symptoms are present. The most common is upper abdominal pain. Other plays include nausea, vomiting, bloating, loss of appetite, and heartburn. So, not enough B12 may occur and known as pernicious anemia. Yeah, I was told to take more B12 because of all of my stomach issues, but that comes with the Fabry disease, so. Ugh. But okay, so I don't want to look at pictures. That's nasty. I didn't scroll down enough for you to see that, and I'm really glad I didn't because that was a picture of the stomach lining, and I'm really not about that. So,
Oh no.
okay, so you didn't have insurance for the longest time. Now, do you have it through the marketplace?
So I'm actually currently waiting for it to be approved for NJ Family Care.
Okay.
They wanted me to prove my income, and I didn't have like, for some reason my copies of my unemployment letters were lost to the wind. So I found one and sent it in, but I'm just waiting to hear back on that.
Now, what is it called? NJ Family Care.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not. Let me try that. New Jersey Family Care. No, it's not going to come up. So okay, so what is that? Is that a certain insurance or what is it?
It's just what they call Medicaid in New Jersey.
Okay. So, um, so yeah, the CMS Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. I would they be paying your insurance bills? Would they be paying you? Like, what is the actions on that?
So I believe that if I qualify for the NJ Family Care, the Medicaid, I don't pay a premium or anything. Um, it just it exists, unless my financial situation changes, which now it's potentially doing.
Right.
In which case I would hope I qualify for special enrollment. And I know New Jersey has like our own healthcare marketplace, which is pretty neat, and they offer like tax credits and stuff. Um, so it's slightly better here in New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I remember like we were fighting for that to happen.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so, I keep saying "and so" and it's bothering me. Also, no. What the marketplace specifically, that's Obamacare, right?
Uh, that's what they call the like national one.
Right, the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, the Affordable Care Act.
Right. So basically, that means that anybody can get insurance through this marketplace, which is where I get my insurance. I got my insurance, and where Galvos gets his insurance, because he doesn't get benefits. So we we were both on one, and then I got disability, went on Medicare, bleh. But because he works, and we have a um, retirement fund, we can't get Medicaid. So we can't pay for our insurances. We have to pay for our insurances out of pocket, even though we can't afford our insurance.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like it disability in general is like also a really flawed system in the United States. Like I haven't had experience with it myself, but I think there was like a certain level, like you couldn't have a certain level of assets,
Mm-hmm.
like, and then they created a special bank account for it, but there's still a limit. So it's like it bars a lot of people from getting married. I know that.
Interesting.
Um,
Yeah,
just
I
because
figured.
if you're like a dollar over, they'll take your benefits away.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
For Medicaid, Medicare is not like that. Medicare automatically comes with disability, especially Part A, which is hospital. Part B is doctors and stuff like that. And so Part B is what I don't have right now. Part C is drugs, or D. I know the letters are stupid. Part D is drugs, I believe. So I think it's D. Medicare Part D. Drug benefits. Yep. So I have that. I was able to enroll in that because I had Part A, but I'm still waiting on Part B for the doctors. So I don't have doctor insurance as of right now,
Ugh.
which is just so fucking annoying. Um, this article needs to be updated. It's been since January 2018. Well, that's not my problem.
Ooh.
Um, um, but my insurance for Part D is $12, so a month. So basically, that works, which is great, but it doesn't. It means that I have to pay like 80% of tier 3 drugs, and 30% of tier 3 drugs and 80% of tier 4 drugs. So my infusions and stuff I can't afford, so I just stopped taking them.
Ugh. Yeah, my grandmother was having that issue for a while. Like, she couldn't afford insulin. She's been a diabetic my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah, the insulin situation is absolutely fucking insane. I know that insulin. Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think. Let's see if they do evolutions, production, synthesis, structure, function. Come on. Psychological effects, hypoglycemia. Okay, so type 1 autoimmune meditated destruction resulting in absolute insulin deficiency. Do you know if she had type 1 or type 2?
She's type 2, I know that.
Okay, so explain to me the difference between type 1 and type 2, because I always get this wrong.
So, type 1, if I remember correctly, that type 1 is the one you're born with.
Okay.
Um, type 2, you develop, and it's developed insulin resistance because of whatever factors, like poor diet, obesity, things like that.
Got it.
Um, I believe type 2 is also reversible because of that aspect.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that. I know type 1 is the one that you're born with for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because it says juvenile diabetes. So that makes sense that type 1 is such. Yeah, there's a correlation with diet, sedentary lifestyle, obesity, metabolic syndrome, drinking,
Yeah.
um, and then let's see, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I have that. So I didn't know that you insulin resistance is present. Fucking great. Hopefully I don't get diabetes.
Yeah. I mean, that could explain like gestational diabetes too.
Absolutely. I'm trying to figure out diabetic coma, insulin therapy, insulin pump, tolerance test. No, they don't have. I was gonna see if they had like the insulin spike, like the spike in payment, but I don't know what that would come from as far as
The
wordage.
insulin crisis.
Right, right, like insulin crisis. No, there's nothing like that. Um, okay, so Medicaid. So the benefits of Medicaid are that you have low costs up front, just like Medicare Part D, where you have low costs up front. And then once it gets in a higher tier, then you have to still pay more, I believe. Well, then Medicare in Australia. Medicare Advantage patients to choose. Yeah. Um, Part A covers hospital. Yep. Oh, I typed in Medicare. Part B is outpatient services. Medicaid also allowed patients to choose health plans. Um, and then mostly self-administered prescription drugs. So this time I'll type in Medicaid. Um, and I'm trying to figure out what. I don't need the history. Oh wow. Adopted the Medicaid expansion under discussion, and not adopted the Medicaid expansion. Wow. So
Yeah, and
the Go ahead.
it's based on the federal poverty level, which is also like just wildly unlivable. Let's put
Wow.
it that way.
And look at that. Look at that straight line right there.
Yep.
That's crazy. All right. So in states that chose not to expand Medicaid, income eligibility thresholds are significantly below 133% of the poverty line. These states do not make Medicaid available to non pregnant adults with disabilities or dependent children, no matter their income. Because subsidies on commercial insurance plans are not available to individuals, most have few options for obtaining any medical insurance. In Kansas, where only non disabled adults and children with an income below 32% of the poverty line were eligible for Medicaid, those incomes from 32% to 100% of the poverty level were ineligible for both Medicaid and federal subsidies by insurance. So I live right here. So luckily I don't live right here.
Yeah.
Because Kansas City is one city that's divided by a state line, but is still called the same city. So I live 15 minutes from the border. In my apartment, I lived 2 streets from the border. On State Line Road, you can go north, which is Missouri side, or south, which is the Kansas side. It's split literally on State Line Road.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that sucks. I didn't realize that most places did not have Medicare. I didn't even realize that Kansas didn't have it either. Um, so community Medicaid helps people who have little to no medical insurance. Um, some states have a program known as Health Insurance Premium Payment Program. This allows Medicaid recipients to have private health insurance paid for by Medicaid. Oh shit. Relatively few states had premium assistance program and enrollment was relatively low. That's interesting. So they'll pay for your Cigna, whatever, for you, so that way you have Cigna and not Medic. Interesting.
Yeah, I think in New Jersey how it works is like there's different plans you can choose from that are like part of the family care, but I'm not sure because I've never had it before.
Right. So children enrolled in Medicaid are individually entitled under the law to comprehensive, prehensive, and restorative dental services. I didn't know that. I didn't know that dental was a part of that.
Yeah, for kids.
That's crazy. Yeah, and then SSI, which I don't get because of the my god, my brain is like fried today because of the money that we have for retirement, which is just stupid that they
Yep.
count that. Um Disabled children, disabled adults, 65 or older who are citizens of nationals of the United States. So, okay, so we've got 15 minutes here, and I want to hear something that is either musical, artistic, something in that wheelhouse that you want to not only talk about but share. So something like when you were talking about anime and you were sharing with us different parts of anime, what specifically did you want to express artistically, maybe your favorite artist, both musically and artistically, etc.
Ooh. Musically or artistically? You know what? I'm gonna make it real gay
Okay.
and talk about RuPaul and the birth of Main Street drag.
I'm ready for it. Let's do this. So what do you
Or
know
musically.
before me looking it up?
Um, I I don't know specifically how long RuPaul's career has been, but RuPaul has been the like forefront of bringing drag into mainstream society. I think as far back as like the 1980s or maybe it was the early 90s that the RuPaul show was on TV.
Okay.
But obviously the big like bringing it into the mainstream is Drag Race, which has been going since 2009, I think.
Yes, that's correct. And the RuPaul show, which he hosted for over 100 episodes while co-hosting the morning radio show with Michelle Visage. I don't know. But 2009 produced 14 seasons in the United States of RuPaul's Drag Race. They have a Canada's Drag Race too.
Oh, they're all over the world now.
That's funny that it has to be specific. Like, why can't it just be an international version?
I think it has to do with TV licensing and like paying actors.
Nice. He also featured a host on other reality television Skin Wars, Good Work, and Gay for Play game show starring RuPaul. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of Skin Wars, but Gay for Play, I think I saw an advertisement for it once, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, it didn't even last a year. Trivia based game show hosted by RuPaul features contestants who answer questions related to pop culture. That's funny. The Brady Bunch movie, Broad City, Girl Boss, Gracie and Frankie. Yeah.
Oh, Tu Wong Fu has to be on there.
Um,
Maybe not.
yes, right here.
Oh, okay.
Is a 1995 American road comedy film directed, okay, and Patrick Swayze, New York City drag queens who embark on a road trip.
Yes.
Interesting.
Wesley Snipes as Noxema Jackson.
Wesley Snipes is okay. Okay, wow, interesting. And Patrick Swayze, and then these
John
are all
Leguizamo.
and these are all men playing women.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is awesome! I've never heard of this show or movie.
It's one of those movies for me that I can just put on over and over again, like to the point that anytime it was on, anyone that was around me was like, "Not again."
After trying to win the New York City's Drag Queen of the Year, Noxema Jackson and Vida Boheme win a trip to Hollywood to take part in a bigger Miss Drag Queen of America. Vida persuades Noxema to take along the inexperienced drag princess and as their protege. To do this, they cash in their plane tickets to a friend, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, and use the money to buy a yellow convertible 1967 Cadillac DeVille. They set off for Los Angeles, carrying them with the iconic photograph of Julian Newmar. To Wung Fu, thanks for everything, Julian Newmar, and Vita took that from a restaurant wall. Interesting.
Yep.
I'm curious how well did the movie do? 30 million, it was the budget, and the box office got 47 million. How did I not know about this?
Because it was the early 90s and it was big enough that, like, it was gay shit that they were talking about.
Got it. Got it. Envisioned the script as a stage play, but changed his mind when he realized putting a car on stage might not work. Interesting. Salt and Peppa, LaBelle, Tom Jones, Monifa, Cyndi Lauper, Patti LaBelle. Interesting. I like the soundtrack. Barbara Streisand,
Oh yeah.
Johnny Mathis. Interesting. Okay, so we've got RuPaul in this. What else has RuPaul done for you? Like mentally, physically, like what is he an inspiration in some way or
I think it was just the fact that Rue kind of like brought drag to my attention. Um, for a long time I kind of had like a really big issue with my own like femininity, and internalized homophobia.
mm-hmm.
Um, so I think like once I accepted that level of like, just self-expression and like the art form behind drag itself, and like it's a dude in a dress, but like it just kind of opened my mind up to like gender being so much more than just like the binary.
Absolutely, yeah, gender fluidity and such has been become more and more noticed, which is great, and accepted in some ways, at least by certain cultures, who are now woke to the idea of gender fluidity. Like for me, I didn't know about it. I knew about it, but I didn't know about it. I accepted it without knowing what it was. And so it's definitely education for me. So, um, a personal self of one's greater gender. So, we talk about biological sex, which is male and female, and then we talk about actual um, masculinity and femininity, and gender expression. So, what are your thoughts on this? What do you have to say about this?
I mean, my basic take on it, boils down to a line from a queen on Drag Race. Sasha Velour is her name,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a line from the song that's "Gender is a construct, tear it apart."
Nice.
And that's really what it is. Like, it doesn't it doesn't really mean anything, right? Unless it means something to you. Like, there are plenty of people who like their gender identity means a lot to them, like a lot of trans people that identify with the binary because of their experience. There's people like me who are just uh, like, yeah, sure, gender's a thing, but I don't necessarily agree with it. Like,
Having to be a threshold, like you said, a part of you, like something that you have to identify with.
yeah, like I don't equate like genitals with gender,
Right.
and like
So, what do you think
representation.
about gender reveals?
I think they're stupid.
I think
I
they're so
like
stupid.
I love all the jokes that are going around of like I've seen gender reveals where like they pop a balloon and they're like, it's yellow. Why is it yellow? And then there's somebody in a Homer Simpson costume like going
I
into the balloon.
just saw that one. Yeah. Okay. So explain. And I know this is really stupid, but explain to me what that means. Because I get that they're. But what is the Homer Simpson? Like, I know that's a meme, but why is that happening?
I mean, I guess it's just a joke that like she cheated on him with Homer Simpson, but
Oh, I get it. I'm with you now. Okay. I didn't get
or
that
there
part.
there was one where they're doing like a cake cutting and it they cut the cake and the husband's like, it's green. Why is it green? And everybody just pulls their masks off and they're lizard people and they're just like hissing.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you're doing a sex reveal. Like, that's what you're doing. Stop calling it a
Yeah.
gender reveal. Like, you are revealing the child's sex, which shouldn't matter at all. But that's what you're doing. So
Yeah,
why are you calling it a gender reveal?
and it's one of those things where like it's so made up that people forgot that like pink was a boy color back in the day
Yep.
and like boys wore dresses and men brought high heels into fashion, but suddenly some guy didn't think he looked good in them or like got butt hurt about it. So he was like, "Oh, we're going to make men's fashion boring."
Yeah. Yeah, that's awful. Just to think about the switch. There's a whole mess of gender reveal fails out there that you'd love. Okay, definitely share them with me. You know the internet a little more than I do when it comes to stuff like that. I scroll Facebook all the time and yet somehow he knows all the memes better than I do.
Or how about that entire forest fire that was set off by a gender reveal party?
No, shut up. What happened?
Yeah, I think that was in like California. Like it set off an entire forest fire.
What how? What did they do?
Yeah, it was like from they used like some kind of explosives to like in a cannon like shoot off this confetti. Oh, it was fireworks.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's dumb. The whole concept is dumb, but the fact that they started a forest fire is really dumb.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Anything else that you want to bring up? Any musical influences? Any artistic influences? Anything?
Um I you know what? I was listening to I'll give you one guess as to what band I might have been listening to today.
Band?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know.
All right. It was Fallout Boy.
Oh, of course it is. Of course I knew that. Why did I not know that? So, all right. So I was just talking to a friend about this and how Fall Out Boy has come out with 10,600,000 songs and how hard it is to keep track of all of their music. So what specifically have you, because they just came out with something like 2 days, 3 days ago, right?
I actually just saw that today and I wasn't listening to it because I just wanted to be in the zone. But I actually started listening again because this past weekend when I was in Philly, my friends put on Fallout Boy radio, so we were listening to like that entire genre of
Right.
like pop punk era.
Right. Yeah, the like I said, the new stuff had just come out. My friend was really excited about it. Um, he's a Fall Out Boy addict. And he knows all of their songs. And I was like, I fell off after a certain while because I didn't even follow Panic at the Disco. Like there were certain songs that I knew of both, but like I fell off and started going into the indie world with indie music and stuff. Fell off Fall Out Boy. Listen, it made sense. My favorite is the girl has a balloon and the guy has a color cannon, but he holds it backwards. Oh
Oh
my
my god,
god. Oh my god, that's awful. Oh my god.
that's great.
All right, so let's see. Fall Out Boy. Let me see their discography. Oh, they go all into it. Okay, so there was a hiatus between 2010 and 2012. And then American
Save Rock
Beauty,
and
which
Roll,
I
I think.
remember. And then this one, the 2023, which came out on January 11th. So I'm a little wrong with 3 days ago, but that's fine. Love from the Other Side, and the announcer for the song So Much for Stardust, which is set to release on March 24th. Okay. And wow. Fall Out Boy has been described as pop, rock, emo pop, alternative rock, emo pop, power pop, punk rock with elements of electronic, R&B, soul, funk, blue-eyed soul, electro pop, hip hop, power pop, new wave, hardcore punk. Which one of those, besides emo, which one of those identifies with you?
Oh man. Probably pop punk. I think it's the most it's the most broad out of all of those.
I think I totally agree with you.
And when you say pop punk, like everybody knows what that means.
Right. Absolutely. Um, Themselves, Artist of the Year, Best Vocalist, Sugar We're Going Down, Best Video. This ain't a scene, it's an arms raise video. My songs Know What You Did in the Dark. I liked that song. That was a really good song that we did in dance class. Light 'em up, 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 light 'em up. It was fun.
Oh, that is a good song to
Yeah.
dance to.
Yeah. Dance one. Thanks for the memories. Wow, they have. Thanks for the memories was another one that we did in dance. Like another one that we used for warm ups, and that was a little tragic. The one where they give the current kid a mental trauma with no way of finding out their new kid anyway. Wait, what? The one where they give the current kid a mental trauma with no way of finding out their new kid anyway? I don't know that one, sarcasm. Do elaborate. Please. I need to know. They have a... Oh, Sugar, we're going down. If I can find the video, I'll post it somewhere. Yeah, just post it to my Discord, because I have to see it.
Yeah, now I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Just post it to my Discord in Main Zoo. Okay, so we've pretty much covered a lot of topics. I'm really, really proud of how this went. How do you feel this went?
I think it was great.
Yeah.
It was the first time, and I'm honored to be the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it is something that I'm excited to continue with and excited to build upon, but also to get your feedback after everything and feel how you felt about certain things. I really try very hard to understand experiences, not talk too much about myself, and give you the opportunity to speak for yourself. So hopefully I did that in the best way I could.
I had an amazing time.
Yay, I'm so glad to hear that. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming out. I'm going to go ahead and post this, and we can go ahead and just give him a follow, check him out. Cult of the Lamb Beast just got a new computer, so he's going to be totally killing it with his new computer. I'm excited to see what he brings. New affiliate. Can't wait to see those emotes. And some Monhan. Yeah, exactly. Monham. Well, I mean, yeah. Anyways, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I truly appreciate it. We are going to go over to this mute site. We are going to go over to Snarky Shark playing World of Warcraft right now, but is a good friend of mine. I'll be interviewing him next week. So that's why we are going to go ahead and raid him. Thank you all for everything. I super appreciate it. And have a wonderful, wonderful night. And again, thank you, Fartzar, for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
Night.